All right, Resonators, strap in. We have just been hit with a massive info drop for Wuthering Waves, and the 2.8 update is shaping up to be an absolute game changer right before we leap into the colossal 3.0 expansion. Thanks to the official drip marketing, we're finally getting the full picture on the new characters, a complete overhaul of the negative status system, some much-needed quality of life tweaks, and a ton more. In this video, we're breaking down everything, from the expected banner schedule for both phases to the nitty-gritty of how your combat is about to evolve. So if you're ready to get hyped, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you don't miss my coverage of the 2.7-second phase later this week. I've got you covered 24/7 on all things WuWa! But before we jump into the rest of the events, a quick word from today's sponsor. Lootbar.gg is a site that gives you big discounts on your in-game purchases. Let's take Wuthering Waves as an example. You can actually see the price difference right away when you compare. The process is super simple. Pick the pack you want, click Top Up, choose your payment method, and that's it. Your rewards show up right on your account. And don't worry, your login info is completely cleared after the transaction, so it's safe. New users can get up to 21% off plus additional discount coupons from the link in the description. And yes, first-time top-up bonuses are available as well. All right, no more fluff. Let's dive straight into the good stuff. First up, let's talk about the main event, the characters. The banner structure for 2.8 is looking a little different from what we're used to, and it's got everyone talking. Starting with Phase 1, this is pretty much a sealed deal. The headliner is Chiza, the one and only Septo character we've been waiting for since her initial tease all the way back in 2.4. She's finally here, and she's kicking off the update in the first wave. So what do we know about Chiza? She's confirmed as a 5-star character, wielding a broad blade and harnessing the power of havoc. Her role? She's set to be a premier support. Now, support in Wuthering Waves can mean a lot of things, and for Chiza, we're expecting a toolkit packed with value. Think team-wide buffs, potential healing, maybe even some shielding, but her entire playstyle seems to be built around the newly supercharged Havoc Bane effect. I'll get into the specifics of that buff in a minute, because it's a big deal. But her value doesn't stop there. Her outro skill is cracked for team synergy. It's looking like she can apply extra stacks of every other negative status effect in the game. Just think about that for a second. If you have a character like Zani who thrives on building up Spectrazil stacks, Chiza can just swoop in with her outro and instantly pile them on. That's an insane level of synergy, making her an instant contender for a lot of top-tier teams. Now, who's likely to get a rerun alongside her? The smart money is on either Phoebe or Cartifia. The devs have shown a pattern of pairing new characters with reruns that complement them perfectly, just like they did with Galbrina and Lupa. It's a smart sales strategy, and both Phoebe and Cartifia would theoretically work wonders with Chiza's supporting capabilities. Now let's move on to Phase 2. This is where things get really interesting. Unlike most patches where we get 2 new 5-stars, 2.8 is mixing it up. For the second phase, we're expecting 1 new 5-star rerun character and 1 brand new 4-star. That's right, it's been a hot minute since we had a new 4-star on a banner, but if the old patterns hold, this new character, Bulling, will be featured on whichever 5-star character gets the rerun slot in that second phase. So who is Bowling? She's confirmed as a 4-star Electro Rectifier user, and just like Chiza, she's filling a support role. Her main gimmick seems to be all about empowering your Resonator skills. We're talking damage buffs for those skills, plus some additional team support, likely in the form of healing zones or damage zones. She sounds like a perfect fit for electrocentric teams that rely on skill spam. As for the rerun character in Phase 2, we don't have an official confirmation yet, but there's a strong possibility of a double rerun. Looking at the timeline, characters from the 2.4 and 2.5 era are due for a return. A prime candidate is Fova, who debuted in 2.5. We're already 3 patches deep since her release, making her a perfect contender to make a comeback. So, to summarize the banners, Phase 1, the new 5-star Havoc Broadblade support, Chiza, likely paired with a Phoebe or Cartifia rerun. Phase 2, the new 4-star Electro Rectifier support, Bulling, featured on a rerun banner, with Fova being a top candidate. It's a solid lineup that gives both whales and free-to-play players something to get excited about. Alright, this next part is huge. The developers are giving the entire negative status system a complete overhaul, and this is going to buff a ton of characters, including our new friend Chisa. We've got details on all 6 major status effects, so let's break them down one by one. Fusion Burst. When you hit the max stacks on a target, it triggers a straight-up explosion. This blast consumes all the stacks and deals fusion damage not just to your main target, but to all the poor suckers standing around it. Hello, AoE Clear. Glacio. This one is getting a control-focused makeover. Applying Glacio will now deal glacial damage up front, but as the stacks build up, you'll progressively slow the enemy's movement speed. Hit the maximum stacks, and boom, they're frozen solid. All the Glacio stacks are then consumed. And for you PvP fans, it seems players will be able to break out of the frozen state faster by mashing buttons or struggling. Havoc. Bane. This is the one that directly buffs Chisa and makes her kit so potent. It's now a stack-based effect. When active, it reduces the target's defense. Each stack gives a 2% defense shred, and you can stack it up to 3 times for a total of 6% defense reduction. That's a huge deal. It basically bakes defense shred directly into her kit and any other character that can apply Havoc Bane. Arrow Erosion. This one is more straightforward. While this effect is active, the target will just take periodic arrow damage over time. The higher the stacks, the more that damage ticks will hurt. Spectrizal. Similar to Arrow Erosion, this applies periodic spectra damage. Each tick will remove 1 stack of Spectrizal. The key here is that the damage gets significantly amplified the more stacks you have on the target before the tick happens. We don't have the exact multipliers yet, but this is a direct buff to characters who specialize in applying this effect quickly. Electroflare. This one has a more complex mechanic. It also deals periodic electro damage, but each tick removes half of the current stacks. Now, here's the cool part. If you apply Electroflare to a target that already has max stacks, instead of the normal effect, you apply a stack of Electro Burst. This Electro Burst state increases the damage of the next Electroflare trigger and is consumed when it goes off, so it adds a layer of skill to managing your Electro applications for those big, satisfying damage spikes. This is a massive change to the core combat loop. It's going to make team building and rotation planning more strategic and rewarding than ever before. But it's not all about combat and new characters. A Wuthering Waves update wouldn't be complete without some welcome quality of life improvements. Here are a few things we're expecting. First up, a godsend for all you echo farmers out there. How many times have you cleared a massive mob pack and had to run around in circles picking up 5 different echoes from the same spot? Well, say goodbye to that. We're getting an echo farming improvement that will let you vacuum up all those echoes in an area at once. It might not sound like much, but for the grinders, this is a massive time saver. Next, a welcome change for anyone watching their storage space. The devs are adding better space optimization, giving players the ability to remove, archive, or add specific quest data. This means you can trim down the game's file size if you're running low on space, making the client less of a storage hog. And this next one is a personal hope that I'm sure many of you share. A quest replay option. We've all had those amazing story moments or boss fights that we'd love to experience again without starting a whole new account. Having the ability to relive those key story quests would be an incredible feature for the community, and I really hope this gets confirmed soon. Of course, we can also expect the usual round of optimizations for endgame modes, like the Tower of Adversity and the Whimpering Wasteland. I'm sure we'll get a deeper dive on all of this during the upcoming 2.8 livestream, which should be happening in the next week or two. Wrapping things up, we can expect all the usual new content that comes with a patch. We're talking new, dedicated echo sets tailored for the new characters, a fresh slate of events, fingers crossed for more combat-focused ones, and of course, a mountain of rewards. This is the last patch before 3.0, so you know they're going to send us off with a bang and give us plenty to save up for the next major chapter. Speaking of the future, the drip marketing for Chisa also gave us what looks like a sneaky teaser for a new region. It seems highly likely we'll be getting our first proper look at this new area in the 2.8 update itself, setting the stage for the 3.0 expansion. So, there you have it, everyone. That's the full lowdown on the upcoming Wuthering Waves 2.8 version update. From the hype-worthy banners featuring Chisa and Bulling, to the game-changing negative status revamp, and all the little quality-of-life tweaks in between, this patch is absolutely packed. But what do you think? Are you saving your pulls for Chisa? Or are you more excited for the new 4-star bulling? Which character rerun are you hoping for? And how do you think the negative status changes will shake up the meta? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and don't want to miss my upcoming coverage of the 2.7-second phase, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.